So we can, thank you for sharing your expectations. What we are going to do is maybe the layout of the 3 days. Yeah, we can just put it there. So if you see that there are going to be 3 main aspects that we will talk about. Okay. So all of you are involved in governance in some way. Yeah. All of you are part of some department, you know, working in the government. And so within that framework, you know, how do we look at gender and gender inequality? What does it mean for us here in Meghalaya? Okay. And so what we are going to do is today I am going to talk some concepts. Because if we are going to look at gender budgeting, gender governance, gender justice, all those kind of things, what is gender? You know, so today we will look at that whole part of it, and let's unpack a little bit this whole thing about gender and also gender in our own lives also. Okay, so us, gender, and also the larger, you know, thing of what's happening with gender. What are these stereotypes that we talk about, you know, all these things. So today we'll unpack that part of it, yeah. So we will be talking a little bit of theory, but we'll also be using some activities, we'll be doing something. So it won't be just sitting over here, we might need to go out and also do a few activities. Are you all okay with that? Yeah, okay. Huh? Yeah, okay. So we'll be doing a lot of stuff around gender today and try and understand what this whole concept is about. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll actually start going into governance and looking at what is gender-based governance about and how in our own work, yeah, what are the things we can do to change this whole gender inequality. So today we'll try and unpack inequality, what does it mean, and tomorrow we'll look at how do we go about trying to change it. And day after tomorrow we'll spend the day and looking at budgeting, looking at again gender-based governance, and also in our own departments, in our own sphere of work, how do we try to bring about gender equality. Okay, so that's what the 3 days is going to look like, yeah. In that, anything you all want to add? You have, yeah, spoken about your expectations. I hope some of it will be able to meet, yeah. And tomorrow we'll be dealing, there'll be a session on legal framework also. So maybe you all can also add bits of it. So it's up to you how you want to take this whole session, yeah. So you just pull it in whichever way that you want. Is that okay? And anytime you have anything to clear, please stop us, okay. And stop us, you can raise, yeah, whatever questions that you have, any doubts, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So please feel free to express. Yeah. I understand that, you know, being a small group has its disadvantages, okay, but we also have some advantages. We'll try and make it as informal as possible, okay, and so we'll like to keep it like that. Okay, my first, you know, the first thing that I just wanted to ask you is that what comes to your mind when we say the word gender? You know, what's the first thought that comes to your mind when we say gender? First words. Male, female, okay. We should write that? Yeah, just put it down. Okay, male, female, what else? Okay, okay. Okay. So you are saying gender is not just male, female, but also beyond, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So one is going beyond just binary, other types, okay, and also that it's a created construct, okay. Anything else? Anybody? When you say gender, where do you come across this word gender usually? Forms, okay, right, isn't it? So what does the form ask you? Male, female, usually. Yeah, anything else they ask you? Others, nowadays another category of others have come, right? But for years and years, what was the two categories we knew? Yeah, male, female, okay. So we'll deal with this, okay, yeah. But before that, I just wanted to ask you one thing, that, you know, how do we ourselves experience gender? Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you some pictures. Okay, this is in your childhood, when you were a small child. Okay, just try and remember that when you were a small child. Okay, so when you were a child, what did your parents tell you? Yeah, as girls, okay, yeah, that little girl should behave this way. What did they tell you? How you should behave? Little boys, should behave that way. And little girls, they should play with what, and boys should play with what? What were the kind of things that were told to you? So how should little girls behave and how should little boys behave? Huh? Anybody? Yeah, so what toys were boys? As a boy, what toys were you expected to play? Bat ball, cars, okay. What? Okay. So as a girl, what were the toys you were asked to play with? Dolls. Just try and remember in childhood. Okay. What all did you? Kitchen sets. Huh? Kitchen sets. Okay. Yeah. And as a boy, as a little boy, how did your parents tell you how are you supposed to behave? Okay, to be brave, okay. Yeah. Ah. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Like what types of work? Yeah. Like what types of work? Yeah. So what he's saying is that boys. So what he is saying is that boys, as a boy, you're expected to be more outgoing, do physical activities, yeah, and as a girl, more reserved, yeah, more in the house, okay. What about you all over there? Climb trees. Huh? Okay. Climb trees. Wow. Okay. You expected to do that, and did you do that? Okay. Ah. Okay. Ah. Yeah. Great. Okay. Great. So your parents never expected you to do this or that? Huh? Oh, lovely. Nice. Ah, nice. Yeah. 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 And then when you grow a little older? Yeah? Okay. Great. That's rare. In adolescent. When you got into your teenagers. What were the kind of messages that you got?
The discussion may not be restricted to what family does
yeah.
and made us happy, but the entire society.
So what were you compelled? Like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So what kind of roles were you expected to do? as a teenager, which was different from maybe your sister or a cousin? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Ah,
The society in which I live,
ah,
I belong from North India,
yeah,
where the Indian climate different from
yeah,
what in other part of the country.
yeah.
Like wherein like we are not supposed to like do kitchen stuffs, right?
Mm.
Not supposed to like clean the plates which can go.
Yeah,
Although family members are like in my family I was
yeah.
advised like it's even in like
Kitchen. Yeah, right.
even if I
Yeah.
later I was expected
Yeah.
for not
Yeah.
that's for not society in general
Mm.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
while growing up so while growing up like I was surrounded with a different mentality in the society and different mentality in home.
Okay.
So there's this conflict also while growing up,
Yeah.
right? You are expected to know something else in family
Mm.
and something else in school,
Yeah.
something else in somewhere else.
Yeah.
So this whole confrontation of the thinking
Yeah.
process in different segments.
Yeah.
Social segments.
So at home you're expected to behave in a certain way, whereas society tells you certain things also to do. Yeah. But there is a differentiation you're saying in that. What about here? As a teenager? Yeah. So what were the kind of messages ki, as 13, 14-year-old boy, how were you expected to behave?
Teenager, I think that also depends on how
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
peer pressure,
Yeah.
boy should act, how girl should act.
Yeah.
I'd say the action is a bit less. One become more conscious of
Yeah.
yeah, let's say like as a boy,
Yeah. You do boy stuff like?
all of this experiment.
Yeah. Okay.
I think like
And what kind of hobbies as a boy?
going out,
Yeah.
I mean that's the main thing. Like
You be out. Yeah. 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 Okay. Be out, hang around with friends. So what you're also saying is that, as you grow older, family becomes slightly less important. And then friends, peers, they take over that role of what you cannot do. As girls, what were you expected to do when you're 13, 16? Yeah. Yeah. Life becomes practical suddenly. Okay. Yeah. So that was practice, and now, you do. Yeah. So I think, what you're saying is very, very, correct. That, things change a little bit. And then as you grow older, now you moved into adulthood. Okay. So as adult, the kind of choices that you make, okay, for what you work, what you study, the kind of professions that you get into. Yeah. So what were the messages you were getting? What kind of work you should be starting to do, and what kind of opportunities? As women, now we are in our 20s now. Okay. Yeah. So as women, what kind of messages were we getting? As men, as young boys, young men? So what kind of careers, what kind of jobs? Any messages? Yeah. Decent means?
which you can esteem yourself.
Yeah.
You want to go to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. So therefore, like I was saying, you're supporting family plus also sustain self. Okay. Yeah. So what kind of jobs? Yeah.
I mean, ideally, work that is actually, I think most people
Yeah.
they expect like boys to do not just like
Men.
men
Yeah. Yeah.
adult field. They should be like businesses possible.
Yeah.
And for women, we are expected
Ah, right. Yeah.
to
Come, please. Yeah. So he's saying that for men, we are expecting that they do business, they be outside. And for women also, the kind of jobs are like more teaching, schools. Yeah.
that is the ideal situation.
That's ideal. Okay. Mm.
The reality is just like as I said,
Yeah.
you have to put whatever.
Ah, okay. So ideally, we would have liked to do this, but in reality, we take whatever we get. Yeah. So, and whatever job that can earn us a living. Yeah. What about you? Did you have any kind of pressures like this about the kind of work? Yeah. Yeah, different. So we plan certain things, but you get certain whatever that you get. Yeah. Okay. So the last bit. Now many of us are setting up families. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So everybody attends coaching. Yeah.
Sense of competition that is still instilled in young minds. And you have to become such and such. They don't know
But they cost quite a bit, na? These coaching and all. So who gets usually sent for it?
depends on the social strata you come from.
Yeah.
Without a lot of resources, people manage with Patna or Allahabad.
Yeah.
People have resources.
Delhi. Yeah. No, but I'm asking also, supposing there are 2, 3 in the family. Okay, so then who will get sent?
Whoever wants. And like initially pressure is on all of them. And somehow this reward thing attached to it,
Yeah.
once you become police officers, apart from hefty dowry,
Yeah.
you also get good
Bride, partner. Yeah. Yeah. And the partner could bring in a lot of good dowry. Yeah. 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 So it's largely boys who are expected to attend coaching and become IAS. Yeah. And you invest in that.
huge mountain kind of pressure.
Yeah. 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 What about you? Did you have any? And now that yeah.
Well, about me also, I was being forced to use combination.
Yeah.
Every time I have to being pressurized to get good scores from class 10, 12, then crack class,
Yeah.
get into
Yeah. Get into NLS. Yeah. 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 So there's pressure on boys to compete, okay, and take up certain kind of jobs and competitive kind of jobs. Yeah. Now when setting up families, when you're expected. Yeah. So what kind of roles do you think that women are expected to do as women, and as men, what are the kind of roles that we are expected to take up when we set up families? And is it different here in Meghalaya than in other places? What about you, Kam? In families, is there any role, which is expected of women? Yeah, like what all? Mhm. Yeah. So you're saying women have more important a role than men in families, okay? And what are men expected to do in families here? Huh? To provide, okay. Like the money? Okay. Okay. So economically, men are supposed to provide the family and run the family, okay? Any other role difference? So in your own homes, what are you expected to do? Setting up a home. Yeah, to take care of children, yeah. So, there are many expectations actually of what we as men or women in the family is expected to do, okay. And all of us would have experienced it. If not personally also, we would have seen our parents, yeah, and our families also like carrying out certain kind of roles, responsibilities, it's expected. So, in that sense, if you look at this thing of gender, when we say what is gender, yeah, the male and the femaleness of who we are is something that many of us experience, yeah, in society, okay. And there is nothing right or wrong about it at all, okay. It's something which just is part of us, okay. So I just want to tell you that there is this thing of, have you heard of, in your forms that you fill up, yeah, do they only ask gender or sometimes they use the word sex? We fill up many forms, no? You said that's why we come across this word. So do they use only gender or do they use also sex at times? Huh? Both they use? Yeah. So sometimes sex is used, what's your sex? And sometimes they ask you what your gender is. Is there a difference between these two? What is sex and what is gender? Anybody? Is there a difference? No? So it's used very interchangeably. Okay. Sometimes we use the word sex. Okay. And sometimes we use the word gender. Okay. To mean that am I male or female? Okay. And others are something very new right now. We'll come to that. Okay. But that's how we usually use this word. But from now on, I just want you to make a difference. Okay. There is a difference. It's a sociological difference that we'll be making over here. So we'll be using the word gender much more. Okay. And there is a difference between sex and gender. Sex is physical. Your physical difference. Okay. So physical difference, is there a physical difference between man, woman and others? Yeah? Is there a physical difference? There is, right? So physical differences like physical appearance, beard, mustache, voice, sex organs, yeah? Physical part of it is what we actually call as sex, okay, of a person. So, as soon as a child is born, what is the first thing that the doctor says? Huh? Boy or a girl, right? How do they make out? From the organs, their genital organs, right? So, that is what we call as sex. Okay, you are a girl or a boy or a man or a woman. Okay, and the other things is what we call as gender. They are your, it's not writing, I think. Can you see from there? Male and female, this is what we call as gender. Okay, yeah. So, we are born as boy, girl, man, woman, but slowly what happens, like what you just said, na? What are you expected to play with? How are you expected to dress? If a small boy, if your son starts wanting to wear a dress, okay, wear his sister's dress and go out, of you as a boy, as of 8-9 years, want to start wearing your sister's clothes, will that be acceptable? If your son starts wanting to do that, or your brother, yeah, starts wanting to do that, and if girls want to wear only pants, shirt, okay, and nothing else, will that be acceptable? Society will say, no, this is not done. Okay, yeah. So, what society tells you that this is done or not done? Okay, as boys you are expected to behave in certain ways, as girls you are expected to behave in certain ways. As you grow up, what kind of work you can take up? Okay, what kind of roles you can take up in society? That is what we call as gender. Okay, so the difference is that this is physical and this is what we call as gender as social. Social because who is telling you? Huh? Society. And whose society? Who is society? Huh? Yeah. It's us also, no? It's us telling ourselves, it's our parents telling us, our family telling us, our religion telling us, yeah, many things telling us what we are supposed to do as male or female. Is that okay? So, that's the first thing that, we must try and understand. That there's a difference, yeah, and there are many different types of identities, okay, that we have, but one of our identities is our gender identity, okay, and that a lot of us, kind of listen to that voice around us saying that you should behave like this because you are this, because you are that, okay. So, that's the difference between sex and gender. Am I clear on this? And why it is important, I will just come to that, okay. But is this okay? So, now when you hear the word sex and when you hear the gender, okay, it's still used interchangeably many times, but try and like make that difference in your head. That when we say gender, we mean this. The social differences that are given to the fact that you are born a man or a woman, a boy or a girl. Okay, slowly society starts making those differences. And then as you grow up, those differences are very strong then put in you. Okay, so that's the main. Because we are going to do gender budgeting, we'll be talking about gender a lot. Therefore, this clarity has to be very important. Okay. Any questions over here before we just go on? Yeah, anything you all want to say? So, sex is also what we call as an ascribed identity. Ascribed means something which is given to us, yeah, from birth. Yeah. Do you have any identity like that was given to you at birth? Your caste, your community, the ethnic community you belong to, possibly religion. You're born into a particular religion and later you may acquire some other one, okay? Yeah. Your family that you're born into, that's ascribed. Yeah. So, these are called as ascribed identities. Okay, and sex is one of those ascribed identities. Is that clear? So, it's something which is given to us at birth. Okay, and gender, is it ascribed or acquired? What do you feel? Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. You become. Again the word, no? Like the word even man, woman, okay? We use it differently. Here for simplicity, we'll just use it man, woman, we'll use it more for sex. You become female, so your femaleness and your maleness, okay, that you acquire. Okay. I'll just show you, yeah, one difference over here. So is that clear? So sex is what we call as ascribed. Yeah. So usually we use words like boy, girl, grows up to be man, woman. Okay. Here we talk of the physical characteristics. Okay. And here what are we talking about? The social characteristics that make you male or female. Okay. So you're expected to do certain things. I'm going to show you one more thing. This is what we call as your genderbread, person. Yeah. So the identity, your gender identity is in your head. It's what you are comfortable with, being a man, a woman or otherwise. Okay, it's how you identify in your head. So if I'm born as a girl and I'm comfortable in my identity as a girl, okay, that's my identity. Okay, but there may be others, who may be born into something but may not be very comfortable with ascribed identity. Yeah, you may feel otherwise. Okay, so identity is the head which tells you how you feel about certain things. Okay. Your heart is different. Yeah. You've heard of people who are attracted to somebody of their own sex. Usually, who are we expected to be attracted to? As a woman, who are you expected to be attracted to? A man. And a man is expected to be attracted to a woman. But can there be otherwise also? Can it be otherwise? Can a man be attracted to a man? Or a woman be attracted to a woman? Or may not face any attraction of anybody? Is that possible? Very much. Yeah? You all must have heard of all this, right? So attraction is something very different. You could be attracted to somebody of the opposite sex or your same sex, or not attracted to anybody, or you may be attracted to both sexes. Okay, so it's the romantic feelings, yeah, that you have for somebody. Okay, so that is attraction is different. And sex is different. Sex is what did I tell you? It's your ascribed physical, yeah, thing. So, and what we have is something called expression. So, your expression may be different. For example, women are supposed to have what kind of hair? Is this very common for women? Yeah, that is still okay. This, yeah, and men are or that. Is that common? Do you see that a lot amongst women? Yeah. So how are we actually expressing ourselves? So expression is what the clothes you wear, the external appearances that you have. Okay. How many boys or men here have long hair? You just have one. Now again, is that common? Huh? No. Okay. So therefore, expression is the external, how you choose to express your gender identity. Sometimes there is no choice. Okay. You've seen people who dress cross-dressing. They wear male clothes, female clothes, men wearing female clothes, female wearing men clothes. Yeah. And in society, which is slightly more acceptable, men wearing women clothes or women wearing pant shirt, it's still okay. Huh? Second one is? Yeah, female wearing pant shirt is still okay, but otherwise, very, okay. So therefore, what is society saying? That as a man, you're expected to wear these clothes, express yourself in this way. You're expected to keep short hair, yeah, as a man. You're expected to wear what? Pant shirt, okay, and not a dress, not a gingsem, okay, yeah. That's for women, okay. So do you understand this? Identity, so identity is in your head, okay. Again, sex is different. So I just want to tell you one thing, that, you know, your identity, you may identify as a woman, but I may not need to express myself as how society expects me to be a woman. Okay, so your identity need not be equal to your expression. Which need not be equal to even sex. Okay, I may be born of a particular sex, yeah, but I identify with some other sex. Okay, you've heard of transgenders? Yeah, in your society, do you ever see transgenders? Huh? Do you see transgenders here in Shillong? No? Do you think they don't exist? They exist, so where are they? Transgenders exist, na? Do you agree? Yeah, so where are they then if they're not in Shillong? Huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, they may have migrated out, or they may be here in the society but unable to express their transgenderness. Yeah, because society does not expect a transgender. Your society expects only male, female, but no trans people around here. Yeah. We call these as homophobic societies. Your fear of, getting stuck with the same kind of, people. Because a man is supposed to be attracted to women. Okay. So, if you are born a man, if your sex is a man, your attraction is supposed to be of a particular type. Okay. And you are supposed to identify as a man. Isn't it? And you are supposed to dress and express yourself like a man. Similarly for a woman, if your sex organ is that of a woman, you are expected to be attracted to only men, and you are expected to feel like a woman, identify as a woman, and you are expected to dress and express yourself like a woman. Okay, but what we are saying is, the first thing you must understand about gender, that these are just expectations of society. In reality, it may not be like that. Okay? Are you understanding me? Difficult to accept? Yeah? Yes? What do you have to say? See, these are things we usually don't talk about, okay, in society, yeah. But it's a phenomenon which is a natural phenomenon, okay. And why I tell you is that, when you work on gender, you must also understand that there are other types of genders. There's no one fixed one, okay. And you may come across certain colleagues in your workplace, certain family members. Yeah, you may have some of your beneficiaries, okay, who may not ascribe to all this. Then how will you deal with them? So, as people who have undergone some kind of a gender training, you must try and understand also that, society expects us to be all like this. But it may not be true. And it's okay. So what we are saying is that, all of us, if you look at it as from 0 to 100, okay, if you look at it as a continuum, okay, of identity, of expression, attraction, okay, and also how your sex, okay. So some people are like this, okay, and some are somewhere there. But there's also this range of people. Okay. And do all of us, always identify ourselves as only man or only woman? Not necessarily. If men are expected to be like that and women are expected to be like this, in these two, ekdam, some of us are in the middle somewhere, no? And at times we feel for the woman, na? As men, do you feel like crying at times? You feel those tears coming, na? You feel teary. When you go for a good emotional movie, how many men sit and like, cry and, in movies? If something sad happens to you as a man, do you let the tears just flow? You're trained not to. Kya ladki jaisa ro rahe hain? Laugh, crying like a girl. Okay, so you're not expected to do that. So what is the expectation? Your expression is that you have to be strong. You have to be in charge. Okay, but are there times when you feel like crying? He's saying many times. What about other people? Yeah. Similarly as women. Okay, are there times when you feel like taking charge? Doing things that men do. Have you ever felt like that? Typically men kind of stuff, no? Are there any times when you feel like doing? Huh? Doing man stuff? What are some of the man stuff you want to do? Bike. Pipe, yeah. Now changing pipe, faucet, how did it feel? You could do it, yeah. And how did that make you feel? Yeah, absolutely. Riding a motorcycle. Yeah. Anytime have you all felt? You take a nice Royal Enfield and go, So there are times, when you feel that as women, I want to also do something more. Okay. So what we are saying is, it's a continuum. So therefore, some people identify more with the sex that they are born into, and some may not identify. And that's okay. Nakshi, you want to add something? Just jump in, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So, have you understood this? It's a little difficult to understand because, in our heads, we are always as man, woman, and this is how you expect it to be. You don't even think of it. Isn't it? But here we are asking you because we are expected now to start thinking beyond what we are just told. Okay. And one of the main things is that to understand gender. Is this okay? I have I don't know whether you would be interested, but I have a one-page thing. If you are interested, we can Xerox and give you. This is what the gender-bread person, okay, and it kind of explains what I'm just talking about. Would you be interested in having this? Yeah. So it does talk about, what is sex, attraction, identity, expression. And here it says, see, identity is not equal to expression, not equal to sex. Similarly, gender. Gender, what did I say it was? What is gender? The social differences. Okay. The social differences that society gives you because you are a man or a woman, your gender is not equal to your sexual orientation. Okay. What does that mean? That I may be sexually attracted to somebody, yeah, but I can still behave like very male. I may be attracted to a woman, but I can still identify as a woman. Okay. And I can behave like a woman, but I may still be attracted. So can you really look at a gay or a lesbian, okay, and say that they are gays or lesbians? You can't, right? So therefore, I may express myself as a woman, but I may still be attracted to women. You understand? So, yeah. See, usually you have this notion, no? Gay men, how are they supposed to behave? We give all kind of labels, no? What are some of these things we call gay men? Men who are attracted to men? Say. It's okay. I mean, see, there's nothing right or wrong here. It's fine. Nobody is going to judge you. We are all here to learn. It's fine. What are some of the words we use? Huh? They're very flamboyant. They dress like, okay. And mannerisms, very feminine, yeah? Very effeminate, right? We say that, they'll put their hand like that, stand like that, okay? What else? What are the words we use? Homos? No, don't we use words like that? Homosexual, so we call them homos. Pansies. Yeah? Some of these terms we use, don't we? Now it is not politically correct, so we don't say it. Yeah? But these are terms that are used. Okay, and we expect that, homos or, homosexuals or, gay men behave in a certain way, they're very effeminate. Not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. Completely maybe having a six-pack, ekdam, muscles, solid, but still could be attracted to men and find no attraction to women. Okay, so I'm just telling you that the gender identity has nothing to do with your attraction or your sexual identity. Is that okay? Why I'm again telling you these things are that you will come across such people, okay, in families, yeah, in homes, amongst friends, amongst colleagues, in your workplace, yeah, in people who you serve. And if you don't come across transgenders here in Shillong, doesn't mean there are no transgenders. Okay? I think it means that people are unable to come out and express, or they're going somewhere else, or they're hiding their identity. Unable to come. When do we have tea? What is the thing? Maybe 12. Okay, is this okay? Anything new you learned today? Huh? You knew all this? Yeah. So gender, number one, it's social, and societies are different from place to place. Yeah. So therefore, what is acceptable maybe in your society are not acceptable, maybe acceptable somewhere else. What is acceptable in one family may not be acceptable in another family. So while it's okay for me to have short hair, okay, and wear pant and shirt, in some other family may not be okay. Okay, so your gender is a lot dependent on where you are, okay, and where you're located. It's the society you're born into, it's where you are. Joy, are we having a break now? Okay. Where do we have to go? Okay. So let's go downstairs, have tea and come back. After we come back, we'll talk about this social construct and how it is made. Okay. Yeah. And how society actually constructs that and what happens because of that. Is that clear? And don't worry, even if you are getting a bit confused, it's okay. Yeah, because these are things that we may be hearing for the first time, certain things, certain concepts, it's fine. Okay. As long as we understand the larger picture of what's happening, it'll be okay. Yeah. Okay, can we move on? Okay. So, next what I'm going to do with you is, I'm going to talk of a few more concepts that are very important before we actually look at gender, budgeting, governance and all other work. Few more concepts of gender are very, very important. Okay. So, I'm going to draw certain things for you. You have to tell me what is the first thing that comes to your mind, okay, when I do this. These two lines, which one do you think is male and which is female? Man, woman. First thing, what comes to your mind? Huh? Usually, which will be man representing? I'm just saying representing, okay, to you. Huh? Man, and this is woman, okay? Let's look at this. Okay? Up, down, man, woman, which one do you think? It's equal, okay? Yeah, man, woman. Which one? This one is man, this is woman. Okay. Okay, let's look at, we still have one more side we can do. Man, woman. Yeah, this is man and this is woman. How did you come to that conclusion? These, what did I draw here? Huh? What did I draw here? Two lines? Yeah. So how do these two lines automatically, this line represents man and this line represents woman? As a couple, okay. So bigger one is, okay. Okay, what about this then? In your head, does this become woman now, if they are not a couple? No, na? Still, woman would be this, right? Yeah. So, what is it in our thinking that even when we see two lines of unequal size, automatically for us it becomes man, woman? What do you think? Yeah, we're expecting more from the man, poor men. Okay. Right? So therefore they've got to be bigger, mightier, more real than life. Yeah. Larger than life, we say, no? Men. Okay. We are expecting that they lead. Isn't it? So therefore they've got to be there. Isn't it? Okay, let's look at this. I'll draw another one for you. Okay. Here we are saying is woman and here we are saying is man. Okay. Now let me take a look at this. Okay. I'll take my own example. Okay. And let me look at, if I have to put all the different identities which I have over here. Okay, let's see what I am. Okay. So I identify as woman. Okay. So my sex identity is woman. Okay. My gender identity is also woman. Okay. But I am also a social worker. Okay. Yeah. I am also a wife. I am a mother. Okay. I am a trainer. Okay. I am a daughter. Okay. Also, what else? I'm Chinese. Okay. Yeah. So I'm an Indian Chinese. Religion, I would call myself humanist. I'm middle age, I think now. No? Yeah, I'm in my 50s, so I'm quite kind of middle age. I am a trekker. I like to trek and I like to climb mountains. Okay. So what is my identity? So if this is Jenny, this is me, okay, what is my identity? Huh? Thank you, okay. Yes, I think I am quite tough, but my identity, isn't it all of this? Yeah? I also, if I keep adding, you know, I live in Guwahati, so I'm a Guwahatian. I never thought I'll say that, but yeah, I am. Yeah. So you look at all of this. Yeah. Is there any one thing that I can say I'm only this? Yeah. So what I am is made up of many things. Okay, so I have many multiple identities. This is my professional identity. This is my marital identity. Yeah, this is my daughter is there, so I'm a mother. Yeah, and I'm also a trainer. I'm a consultant. I'm also, yeah. So I also have, this is my ethnic identity. Yeah. If I put my class identity, I think I am fairly middle and upper middle class, I would say. Yeah. So what is this identity now? This is upper middle class identity. Okay. Yeah. So I also have my ethnic identity, where I stay, my geographic identity. Okay. Similarly, can I ask one of you to try and do this? Can one of you come and map who you are? Some boy, come. Come, try and map who you are. You can do it from there if you want. Come. Yeah, you can just, if you want, you can put it down here and do also. Yeah. Yeah. And each one of you, if you start thinking about your own identities, okay, you can even draw if you want in your notepad, start thinking of your own identities and try and map that out. Yeah. So when somebody asks you, who are you, what do you say? Yeah. Who am I? You're a brother, you're a son, you're a sister, you're a daughter, you can be a wife, yeah, many things. Hmm? What are you? Huh? Yeah, AB, yeah, but who is AB? Yes. Yes. Done. Yeah, come, tell us. Come. Give me that. I have this here with me. Yes. Tell us who you are.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer.
Sure, no.
I'm a son of my father.
Yeah.
Trekker, musician.
Ah, you're also a trekker. Great.
I'm from Guwahati.
Okay.
Bookworm, love reading books. Brother explorer in 20s.
Yeah. So if I say that, do you have any one single identity, or are you made up of all these identities? Yeah. So similar, if you look at all of this, we are made up of multiple identities. So who I am is all of this. Okay. So this is what we call as intersectionality. Okay. That we are an intersect made up of many identities. So therefore, my professional identity, yeah, also intersects with my marital identity, which intersects with my hobby or a passion, okay, also intersects with my ethnic identity, yeah, my class identity, then where I come from, okay, also intersects with my religious identity. So, we are an intersection of many, many identities, and your gender identity is just one of those many identities which differentiate you from another person. Am I clear on that? Yeah. So, this is what we call as intersectionality. Okay. That we are made up of many identities. Yeah. Okay. And so, therefore, sometimes we focus so much on the fact that we are male or female, and we are expected to do that, and we think that that's our only identity. Society forces us, to behave in a particular way, but that is just one of my identities of being a woman, of being female. But there are many other things which make me who I am, make you who you are. Okay, and that we should try and remember. So therefore, in order to overcome these things of bias, see what happened over here? Just by seeing a line, you said male or female, man or woman. What happened? Suddenly that became gender identity. But actually what are these? These are lines. Okay, but the line in our head started representing gender, the difference between man, woman. Okay, that's what society does to us. It helps us create those stereotypes and those bias. That even when you see two lines which are not equal length, it just comes to your head. Man, woman. Okay, constantly we are hammered from young. Now I don't know whether here you all have the ritual, but I know in Western countries, they've started this baby shower. Have you heard of this baby shower business? So when a woman is pregnant, over there obviously they know whether it's girl or boy. So then they have this baby shower which celebrates, and everything. If it's a boy, they know it's a boy, all will be what color? Blue. And if it's a girl, pink. Okay, so if you are watching like now, I don't know, Barbie is playing here in the theatres. What are people wearing and going and watching Barbie? Pink, Barbie pink. Okay, why? Because Barbie, girls, dolls, all pink. What if somebody here, all the men want to wear Barbie pink? All the men in Shillong decide. How many of you have Barbie pink shirts in your cupboard? You have, na? Great. But very, very rare. Okay. So, colors get associated with our gender. Yeah, sizes get associated with our gender. Everything, we have a very gendered society. Okay, our society is so gendered. But reality is that we are actually made up of many, many identities. And this is who I'm celebrating. We are celebrating as a full person with a lot of potential. But because society is so biased, gender biased, so stereotypical. You've heard of gender stereotype? Yeah. We are so stereotypical that we only, bind ourselves to one identity and give it a lot of importance, which is our gender identity. I don't know about here, but many places like Guwahati, we fear letting our daughters go out in the evenings. By 9, if my daughter doesn't come back, I start getting worried. Okay, why hasn't she come back? Where has she gone? Yeah, you start feeling a bit unsafe. Okay, so what am I expecting? That my daughter has to be home before 9 or 10 o'clock in the night, which is also very late by parental standards. Yeah, but I start getting jittery. Yeah, because girls are expected to stay in the house after dark. Because why? Why are girls expected to stay in the house after dark? What will happen to them? To be safe? Meaning what will happen to them if they are outside? Yeah, meaning what can happen to them? Yeah, they could get molested, they could get raped. Yeah, Boys also could get kidnapped, no?
The other dimension is that they can't protect themselves.
Yeah, we feel they can't protect themselves. Yeah, yeah. So therefore, to protect our daughters, what we do is, or to protect our sisters, we want them to be home. Okay, but who are we protecting them from? Who's the danger? Huh? What? Substance abuse. Yeah. Who's the danger that we are protecting them from? Men. Okay, boys. Yeah. Acha, any of you have ever been to a zoo? Huh? Zoo, how many people have been? Just raise your hands. You all know what a zoo is, right? When you went to the zoo, did you see tigers? Huh? Yeah? Tigers, where were they kept? Tigers were kept in a cage. Why? They're dangerous. They're dangerous to whom? To human beings, right? And we humans, what are we doing? We are roaming around the zoo and we are keeping the tiger in the cage. Okay, what about girls then? Yeah? Who's the danger over there? Who's the danger there? Men, boys? Yeah. But who are we keeping in the cage? Huh? Girls, right? Why are we not keeping the tiger inside the house? Why are they being allowed to roam around the streets? And whereas we keep our girls in the house. Huh? Is it? Is it? So I'm just asking you, when you wear a gender lens, please question. Okay, so who has made these rules by which we keep women, yeah, inside the house and we let the tigers roam around the streets? Okay, but in the zoo we don't do the same. Okay, so I'm just asking you, look at that. That is what we call as gender rules, okay, norms. That is created in such a way that we feel we have to protect. Okay, we have to protect our girls, we have to protect from danger. Whereas the danger is allowed to roam around, move around, yeah, and we say we can do nothing about that. So, am I clear on this? So, when we say intersectionality, please remember that I am just, this is only one of the various identities, yeah. So, my daughter also has many identities, na? She is not just a girl, okay, she is not just a young woman, she is also many other things, but this becomes very important, okay. So, then she is told what she can do, cannot do, what she can wear, cannot wear, where she can go, cannot go, what time she can go, what time she cannot go, because of the fact she is a woman. Similarly for men, isn't it? Men also face a similar thing. Because our society is gendered and there are some gender norms, even men. Do you sometimes feel it's difficult to be a man? Yeah? Yeah? Do you feel? Very often? Why? What is it?
A lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Different components and dimensions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our own
Expectations of ourselves, yeah. Economically, you're expected to earn, you're expected to be this mightier than, you're not expected to be like a woman, yeah. You're expected to be bigger, mightier, earning, and society judges you by that. What you do, what you cannot do, okay. So, that is what we call as gender stereotyping. That because of your sex, you are made to do certain things, perform certain roles, behave in certain ways. Huh? So, that's the word we use called gender stereotypes. Am I clear on that? And the way that society expects us to behave, do, wear, perform, those are called gender roles. Yeah, these are roles that we are expected to perform because of our gender. Because of our sex, actually, I would say. Because you're a man, woman, you're expected to perform certain roles in society.
Can we also say
Yeah.
the definition of performance is the male or female?
Yeah.
That's what makes up the gender. That's what makes up the gender.
Yeah. What did you say?
The definition of performance is
Yeah.
the male or female.
Repetition. Yeah. The expectations, I would say, more than anything else. Yeah. See, even here I am expected. As a professional also, you're expected to perform certain ways. But that doesn't become pervasive all the time. Okay, but our gender is very, very pervasive. Constantly you're reminded. And you try and move a little bit, and then people say, oh, okay. So then again you come back to your role as male, female. So therefore, what we are saying is that for people to have full potential, to live your life fully and to do whatever you want. If you want to do plumbing, you should be able to do plumbing. Yeah. If you want to ride a motorcycle, you should be able to. And if a man likes to cook, like what you were saying, you can sew. If that's what gives you joy, happiness, yeah, you should be able to do that. If you like wearing pink, you should be allowed to wear pink. If you like wearing blue, green, purple, whatever, you should be allowed to. But no, society says that men are supposed to behave like that, women are supposed to behave like this. Okay? Those are called gender norms and gender stereotyping. Now, what happens because of that? Yeah. So, what's the problem? If all women wear pink and all men wear only blue, okay, what is the problem? Is there a problem?
We are compartmentalizing first.
Yeah.
Second, we are concretizing the expectations.
Yeah.
Third, like
Yeah. So what happens because we compartmentalize? What do you think could happen? Just go a bit deeper.
Can we also say that by this way, both of the genders are discriminated?
Okay, let's see whether it's true or not. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you certain words. Okay, you help me and try and tell me first thought that comes to your head. Okay, whether that's man or woman, usually. You want to write? Come. See, it could be both, but usually in our society, what do we see? Yeah, let's write here. This is too far, that one there. Okay, so I'm going to call out certain roles, you tell me. Okay, what does it mean? Pilot, usually man or woman? Usually. Man, okay. Surgeon, doctor, a surgeon? Man, usually. Surgeon, okay. Usually in society, what do we see? Man, more, okay. Nursery teacher, okay. University vice chancellor, usually man, okay. Farmer, man. Chef, man, okay. Nurse, okay. Street vendor, okay. Both, yeah. Street vendors, okay, also man, okay. Shop owner, departmental store owner, man. Shillong wise women, okay. Women also here, okay, yeah. Tailor, man, okay. Political leader, politician, men, okay. So we can go on like that, okay. There are many professions, okay. DGP of Meghalaya, Chief Minister right now, okay. Man, okay. Okay, let's just go on with that. Thanks. So, what do we see here? At first glance, what do you see? These are all the professions of men and these are the professions of women. Usually, in society, there are discrepancies here, there, we understand that. There are also women pilots. Okay, what do we see? Yeah, so therefore, there are many more professions, okay, where men are. So therefore, what you were saying, no, earning role of men, that's very apparent here, okay. So therefore, men occupy many more professions where you can earn money, okay. So the burden also of earning money a lot falls on men, okay, and looking after family and everything else. But if you go a little inside, okay, if I ask you air hostess, where will you put? Huh? Woman? I just want you to take a look at this. Okay. So, pilot is male and air hostess is woman, usually. Okay. So, who has a bigger status in society, a pilot or an air hostess? Huh? Usually pilots. They earn also more. Who earns more? Pilot or air hostess? Pilots. Okay. So, position and money here more. A vice chancellor or a college principal, okay, vis-a-vis a nursery school teacher. Again, in society, whose position and earning is more? Yeah. Status? Vice chancellor, you know this, okay. A surgeon and a nurse. Huh? In our society, surgeons are given more position, no? Okay. Chef. See, who does the cooking at home usually? Woman. But when it becomes a chef or a cook outside in a hotel, then who's cooking? Men. Okay, because there's money again involved in that. Okay, so is it true that only women can cook and men cannot cook? Because men are cooking outside, right, but not in their homes. Okay, I'll just come to that. Yeah. Similarly, if you look at politicians, what is their role? What is the role of politician in society? Huh? Make laws. Yeah, you're a lawmaker. And laws for whom? Society, which also includes men, women and others. Okay, but who's making the law? The chief minister of your state is a man. Have you all had a woman chief minister till now? Meghalaya? Not yet. Okay. So similarly, if you look at DGP of police, so all your top position of power position is held by men. Okay? Yeah? And whereas what happens because of that, you're expected that men hold these, no? So because of this, men hold also power and position and status in society, and they can decide for other people. They decide for men, but they also decide for women, okay, and others. Am I clear? Okay, so because of which, what's the stereotype over here? These are our stereotypes. Immediately hearing that, we said man or woman. So we expect that men start taking these roles, yeah, because of which you occupy also a higher position and status in society. Okay, similarly if I ask you Rongba Shnong, so then man or woman? Okay, so I'm just saying that let's think a little bit about this. Okay, so therefore stereotypes 1, this was our stereotype, okay, that big means man, small means, but because of which it's leading to this, the position and power difference. Okay, let's do one more. Nakshi, just, okay. I'll just call out some characteristics, okay, and you tell me again whether that's man or woman, okay. Soft, caring, yeah, a little louder, okay, Inakshi has to write it down, yeah. Strong, okay, kind, assertive, okay, nurturing, okay, outspoken, okay, emotional, woman, okay, leader, okay, follower, yeah, and so on so forth. Okay, see, as soon as you hear some characteristics, what's happening in your head? It's automatic. So therefore our responses become automatic. Okay, thank you.
I missed a few.
Okay, okay, yeah. So our responses become automatic. So the question over here is, how did our response become so automatic? And because of our automatic response, what happens? We stereotype. Okay, is it true that men cannot be soft, caring, nurturing, outspoken, cannot be a follower? Yeah? Can men not be this? They can, na? Do you know of any man who's like this? In your life, have you come across any men who are like this? Soft, caring, nurturing, kind? No? Similarly, I would ask, have you come across any woman who's strong, assertive, who's a leader, who's outspoken, unafraid, brave? Have you come across some women like that? We have, no. So is it a man-woman thing? No. So what is this? Is this sex or is this gender? Yeah? This is gender. Okay? This is called gender stereotyping. Yeah? That we expect men to be like this and women to be like that. Yeah? So if you look at both these together, because women are soft, caring, nurturing, therefore what is the kind of work they can do? They can be nurse, they can be nursery teachers, they can be air hostesses. Okay? But because men are strong, assertive, leader, okay, therefore the work that they can do are all of this. Leadership roles. Are you getting what I am trying to get to? Yeah. So therefore by stereotyping, we are actually slotting, okay, what men can do, what women can do. How women should be and how men should be. If you find very outspoken, assertive women, some of your colleagues might be like that also, no? How do we feel? Similarly, if you have male colleagues who are very soft, very nurturing, very, very kind, very caring, how will you feel around them? Out of place, yeah. Similarly for women, no. Yeah, we call her, oh, look at her, she's like a boss lady. She's all these labels we put. Similarly for men, oh, look at this, such a sissy. I'm sure his wife must be bullying him at home. That thought kicks in or not? Yeah, that is what this is about. Okay, because we slot people, we expect them to behave in certain ways. Because we expect them to behave in certain ways, we give them that power and position. And anything out of that line is not accepted. Okay, so this is what gender role is about. Am I clear? Yeah. Anybody wants to say anything? Yeah, I may be saying things out of the thing here. Things might be different here in Meghalaya. Okay? Yeah. Anything you all have to share? What have you seen in your society? What kind of stereotypes are there? Because here you have a matrilineal society, right? Yeah? And people expect that things are different here. People say that it's matriarchal. I don't know. Do you see any difference here? Am I only talking about Assam and North India? What do you all feel? Is this also true here in Meghalaya? As women, are we also expected to behave in certain ways, do certain roles? Huh? Yeah. As men, are we expected to behave in certain ways? Yeah. Okay. So therefore, which brings me to a whole thing of matriarchal, matrilineal, patriarchal. What do these words mean to you? You've heard of the word, na? We celebrate the fact that Meghalaya is a matrilineal society. Yeah. What do they mean?
Well, matriarchal basically means the center is focused on the women.
Yeah.
Women make all the decisions.
Yeah.
While matrilineal means on the line of inheritance.
Yeah.
Women own the inheritance. But patriarchal is from, it's like a mango.
Yeah.
The covering is matrilineal, but inside it's all patriarchal.
You are saying that, you're from Guwahati. Okay. What do you all feel? Are you all a mango? And it's not a problem what we are, okay? Don't feel bad that, we are like that. But it is how we are. Okay, and the question over here is, how can we be? Is this how we need to remain? This thing that I told you, the way men are supposed to be, women are supposed to be, is that the rule that we have made now, or it's been there for long? What do you think? Is this something that your generation made up? No, it's coming from our foremothers, forefathers, from when, no. We just inherited that. Isn't it? These rules, these norms, we've just got that. Okay. And why that is important to understand is that, does that have to be the way we carry it over to our next generation? To our generation after that? In our workplace? So that's why what we are getting today is what we call a gender lens. It's like getting new glasses. You see things differently. Okay? Yeah? So, what I'm asking you is this, that let's look at our own society also. Okay? If this is how it is, where is it coming from? Okay. So, I just want to unpack this word called patriarchy. Okay? And let's look at the opposite of that. What does this word patriarchy mean? Have you heard of this word? Yeah. What do you think? Whatever you understand by it. See, again, no right or wrong here, okay? Whatever that you understand. Have you heard of this word? Who's a patriarch? Male, who's the head of the family. Okay, so it comes from the word here. Patri and archy. Okay, it means archy is a rule of the male. Right? Rule of the man is called patriarchy. But over here, I just want to talk of one more word here. Matriarchy means rule of the woman. Okay, but I want to say that this is a wrong notion. Okay. This is a wrong notion. Patriarchy is a social norm. Okay, it's a way that socially we have organized around men. But that does not mean that women cannot be patriarchal. Okay. You look at this thing, okay. For example, a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law fights we hear very often. I don't know, do you all have it here also? Mother-in-law, you know, this obnoxious mother-in-law. That's there, okay. She's like, awful thing. Yeah. Here's ulta, na? Here the men go to the girl side. Yeah. Over there, is there any kind of a thing like this? No? But many places we see. Have you heard of women, okay, bosses, who are very bossy, who are like, tries to put people down? Have you ever experienced or heard? Or are all your women bosses very soft, very kind, very loving, very non-corrupt, very caring? Is it like that? And are all your men bosses like assertive, aggressive? You've heard of women, na, who can be very, very aggressive. Okay, and putting down of people also. Right. So therefore, patriarchy, what we mean is actually when you try to exploit somebody else because of the position that they are in. And here it is the largely men who are in a slightly higher position. So therefore, you exploit the fact that you are in that position and power you have over somebody. Okay. So if a woman is also in position, power, and she is exploiting that and putting other people down, she is also patriarchal. You understand me? Yeah. So patriarchy for us is a system. It's a social system which is constructed in society to put gender on top. Okay. So patriarchy promotes gender inequality. Okay. It puts man here, woman here for now. And matriarchy would mean what? Ulta? Yeah, woman here and man here. But is that what we want? Yeah. As human beings, why should one be on top and one down? No. What do we want as human beings? What do you want as human beings? Equality, na? See, right now what is happening, we saw, no, in this position and power and all, right now men are on top. But does it mean we want women on top? And then men will be down here and then we also exploit, we also do the same to men as has been done to us? No. Okay, so for us in this whole work, the opposite of patriarchy is not patriarchy. Okay, the opposite of that is what we call as equality. So we say gender equality. Okay. And this is what we are looking for. Okay. We don't want any one person to rule somebody else. Yeah. So while you may be matrilineal, but can there also be equality then? While we may be patrilineal in our society, but can we be equal? Okay. So many people think that just because, women are asserting their rights, they want matriarchy. But we are saying that's not true. Yeah? We've experienced what it means to be exploited, to be overpowered, so we don't want the same for men or other genders. Okay. So what we are looking for is gender equality. Right now what we have is this. What do we have right now? Gender inequality. Okay. Because of the fact that I am a woman, okay, and that you are a man, we are not equal. Okay. Society has given us that position and power. So what we are saying is we are looking for gender equality. Okay, and not one on top of the other, not patriarchy or matriarchy. Is that clear? So I just wanted this to be put on the table because in your kind of work, you will come across this very often. Okay, gender inequality. And it's not your fault. It's not the fault of men that women are down there. It's a fault of a social system. Okay, so I'm not blaming individual men over here. Okay, but their society has made that system by which gender has become so important. You understand? Yeah. So please, so therefore if we have to fight against anything, what are we fighting against? Is it a man-woman fight? What is the fight? Yeah, we are fighting against the system of patriarchy. Okay, this has to change. And patriarchy makes those norms, no? Where the tiger is where? On the road. Okay, and the girls are where? Inside the house. Yeah. So what is the answer to that? Is the answer leaving the tigers on the road? Or is it the answer just keeping the tigers in the house and leaving the girls out on the road? Or is the answer also taming the tiger, sensitizing the tiger? Can we get men to actually respect women, girls? Okay, so how do you build up a generation which is respectful, yeah, which does not harm women, which does not do eve teasing, which does not look at women as objects? Okay, so how do we start building up a generation of men who are not tigers? Yeah, so the question lies over there. So when we say gender equality, we mean that. We don't mean keep the boys inside the house. Yeah, but we mean that can we bring up people who are like that, okay, who are more respectful. And similarly, can we also then bring up our girls to be more brave, to be more assertive, to be able to defend themselves, not need to be protected all the time. Yeah? Can we bring up girls who are confident in their bodies? Okay, who are unafraid, who know what to do if they are attacked. Yeah? Is that where the answer is? Is the question we have to. Yes, please, Joy. Go ahead. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But also one very important question was to ask at that time that as society
Yeah.
and as people,
Yeah.
what kind of men and boys are
Yeah.
right at this day and age,
Yeah.
that even in terms of, whatever kind of a civil conflict or
Yeah. War.
it may be,
Yeah.
but the targets will still be women.
Yeah.
And will still be women and children who are objectified and treated as objects,
Yeah.
just to hurt the men of the other community or the men of another country or whatever.
Yeah.
So while we may blame the governments, while we may blame the chief ministers, but I think we also need to blame ourselves, because
Yeah.
I think we also have failed as society members,
Absolutely.
as community members, in raising up our children and men and boys who could still do such things.
One another disturbing layer to this is that I believe that there are many reports that it was women who egged on the men. Did you all hear that? Yeah? That there were a whole load of women who actually encouraged the men, ki go, do this, go and rape, go and do that. So what kind of women are these then? Yeah.
We might be natural humans, and we've been brought up to think we are empowered, but we're still dying to the mind and the situation that we face.
Yeah.
We've just been taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of a mindset do you think that these women had when they egged on the men? He go and rape somebody else's woman. Isn't it? So isn't that also a very patriarchal mindset? We have the power to exploit somebody over there now. So let's use that power completely. You're not seeing the humanity of it. Okay. For them, they are an object now that our men need to use as a tool for war, to take revenge on the other community. Okay. So women can be as patriarchal as men, and sometimes more. Okay, so it's not a man-woman struggle is what I'm saying. It's a struggle against this mindset of dominating somebody else, of having power over somebody else. Okay, today, yes, there are many more men in that seat of power, but that doesn't mean that women are all absolved completely. We can be as patriarchal and more. Yeah, and I think Manipur has shown us that.
Ma'am, the major kingpins of human trafficking.
Yeah.
Next of the northeast human trafficking that takes place.
Yeah. It's men, women, both. Okay, it's whoever is in power misusing that power to exploit another human being, to exploit nature, to exploit our planet. That's being patriarchal. Okay. Thank you, Joy, for bringing that up. Yeah. It's been highly disturbing, that and the whole question that we have of women being soft, women being thing. Not necessarily. We can be this, we can also be that. It's whoever is in that power. Okay, so I just want to add just one last little bit. What time is lunch, Joy? 1:30. We have a bit of time. Is it okay I'm using this, or should I use the board? Yeah, this is fine with you? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do for you is like, so this whole thing of patriarchy, how it promotes. Okay, so right now, patriarchy for us right now is still the rule of man, largely. Okay, but not necessarily. Okay. So there are three ways. We call this as a triangle. We call this a triangle of patriarchy. Okay. How actually right now in society, how men are remaining in control. And when I say men, I also include women who also exploit other women, okay, and others. So, this is called a triangle of patriarchy. So, one is we deprive women of certain entitlements and rights, okay, yeah. So, there is deprivation of women. For example, over here in Meghalaya and also much all over India and many parts of the world, how many women do we see in parliament? How many women do we see as your MLAs? How many women do you see in your village level? What is that? You have your Dorbar, na? Yeah? How many people are there heading the Dorbar? Are women there? Usually, no. Okay. Yeah. So, you deprive women of decision making. Okay. So, deprivation is one way. You know, in some societies in India, North common, again very, very highly patriarchal, Haryana, Punjab, UP, yeah, MP, where it's blatantly there, okay. The ratio of number of men to women are less. So, your sex ratio is what we call. If there are 1,000 men, how many women are there? How many girls are there? Okay, and it's something that we also in the Northeast have to worry about. I'll tell you why. Our sex ratio over here, while the 1,000 men to women are still okay, number of girls who are under 5. Meghalaya, what's the number? Under 5 sex ratio, under 6 sex ratio. Assam, we have a very disturbing trend that from the last census, 2001 census to 2011 census, 2021 we haven't had a census. What we find is that the number of girls under 6 years compared to your number of boys is falling. Okay. That's a trend we are seeing in many districts in Assam. Okay, and overall Assam we are seeing a picture where there are a number of boys, and this is true in many parts of the Northeast. Why do you think that's happening? That's a worry sign. Okay. It could be that, I'm just throwing these questions, might not be. Is there sex selective abortion happening? Might be. Is there a general neglect of girls' health compared to baby boys' health? Might not be. I'm talking of Assam. Okay. So, 915 compared to India. India is more. Therefore, even Meghalaya is low. And your last census? 989. Yeah. 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 And under 5 sex ratio? Under 5, yeah. Huh? It's decreased. In Meghalaya. Yeah. What do you all understand from that? Do you understand what we are saying? For every 1,000 men, there are lesser women. Okay? And if you look at states like Kerala, okay, there are more women than men. Even Assam, the number of women has improved compared to last, but the number of girls have decreased. Okay, and it's decreasing very rapidly. We are not just talking of 2 numbers, 3 numbers, but the decrease is very sharp actually. Yeah? So similarly, you look at Meghalaya. Your number of girls is 914, 15 compared to 1,000 boys. So for every 1,000 boys, 915 girls. So how many girls less for every 1,000? Huh? 85. So 1 lakh, how many girls are less? Huh? Yeah. 10 lakhs? Yeah. So what's happening? That's a question we need to ask. Is the health system, something is happening there that girls are not being able to be saved in some way? And it's not that was how it was earlier, it's falling. Okay, so obviously there is something happening over here that girls are not being allowed to live. So there's a deprivation of life. Okay. There are some places in Haryana and Punjab where for every 1,000 boys, we just have 760 girls. Okay. And I must tell you that this is not natural. If things are natural, okay, in a society, yeah, usually there are more girls born than boys. Because nature, what happens is that you look at it naturally and you just talk of nature. Yeah. See, you need one woman to have one child. Na? And she can have only one child every couple of years, no? But men, how many do you need to impregnate women? One man is enough, yeah, to do the job. So therefore, nature, by nature, if you look at the law of nature, nature needs more women for a species to survive. Isn't it? So as a human species, if we have to survive, you actually need more women. Okay? And lesser men. So therefore, nature selects and more women are actually born. So is it natural that 915 girls are only there for 1,000 boys here in Meghalaya? Yeah, what do you feel? It's not natural. It's not natural. Okay, and especially when it's falling, it's something you have to worry about. Something is happening in our society, and I'm not just blaming here, many places. So therefore, we look at this statistic of under 5 sex ratio, what we call. Yeah. Women's sex ratio, what happens is, even there, it is still lower than men. But that's slowly improving. You have more health system, maternal mortality will go down. You have better health care, women are getting more to eat. Yeah. Increasingly, they will survive. Okay. Status of women improves, survival will improve. Okay. But girls, it's a bit of a worry. Yeah, and Inakshi will take that up a little bit more tomorrow. Okay. But, so one thing is that in this thing, patriarchy is very important. Okay. In many places in India, again, another thing that women are deprived of is land. Okay. Here in Meghalaya, you have matrilini. So women have land in their name. But do all women have enough land? I believe land holding here is very small. Somewhere you were saying, no, only 76% of people do not have land. Na? In Meghalaya? Yeah. You know, I've been hearing that many people here in Meghalaya actually do not have land. Okay, even in rural areas, a lot of land is community-owned land. Okay, so women, while it is matrilineal, you know, how many women actually have land? And what happens is that in other places, we work a lot on domestic violence, our organization. There what we see is that because a woman does not inherit property, so therefore, after marriage, you go to your husband's house, right? And you don't have anything in your own name. And so therefore, if husband beats you or ill-treats you, where do you go? Usually you're not welcome back into the parental home. Okay, so therefore property of women is something that they're deprived of. World statistics say that 1 in 100 women only own property. Okay, yeah. 1 in 100 women have property in their name. Okay. Again, so you're depriving of many things, decision making, of life itself, of property. Yeah. Second part here is you give, but you discriminate. Yeah. Giving, but not in the same measure. Any example you have of any gender discrimination here? Could be reverse gender discrimination also, okay? Where, yeah. Any discrimination that boys or girls face, single parent. Why does that happen? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Because of which, then what will happen if there's a rise of single parent? Yeah. Yeah. So it's unregistered marriages. Okay. Yeah. Any discrimination that you can think of? Yeah. Ownership. Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Here's ulta. Okay. Yeah. So against men, it is a discrimination in that sense.
But because of what our society is right now,
Yeah.
so we don't feel like it's a situation like that.
Yeah.
We don't feel like it's a situation like
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So parents are trying to give to
Girls. Yeah.
in fact, not
Yes. It's a law. It's a traditional rule, norm, law, that here in Meghalaya, girls get the property. Yeah. So you're not deprived of property. Okay, so you're not in that sense deprived of property here. But having that property in your hand, does it give you extra power? Does it make you less vulnerable in other ways? Maybe. Okay. So it makes you less vulnerable in one way. But then is everything or else okay here in Meghalaya? Because you have property, are you not discriminated in any other way? Is there no gender inequality? Is what I'm asking.
Just one point I'd like to raise
Yeah.
here. I mean, even though in Meghalaya, the last daughter is the custodian.
Yeah.
But if you look at the data from NHFS 5,
Yeah.
the latest data, it shows that there's only 35% of women in Meghalaya who own property.
Only 35%. Yeah.
So again, the belief that
Yeah.
women own property versus the actual data is something we really need to question, because I think the data shows that women don't own property actually.
There's another data point also here for Meghalaya which shows that a lot of women suffer atrocities. Okay, so domestic violence, which is the third part of the triangle. Okay, so one is deprivation, discrimination, and then also atrocities on women. Like what we were saying, rape, fear of molestation, but also actual beating. So domestic violence is also quite high in Meghalaya. Which, if you are a matriarchal society and if women had so much power, should it be coming to that? Yeah. In the afternoon, we will look at we'll examine this whole thing of power. Okay, because that is also very central to patriarchy and gender inequality. Okay. Yeah. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that there are certain ways in which patriarchy operates. Okay, that is, you deprive, you discriminate, and you commit atrocities on women. And what I'm also trying to tell you is that if you are better than many places in India, let's celebrate that. I think we can be still better. We don't have to start from where they are. Many a times in the Northeast, we see that. Okay. You know, that day you were talking, na? And just now, a little while ago, you were talking about Manipur and everything. Recently, there was this TV debate on NDTV. And they were debating the UCC. Yeah, Uniform Civil Code. And then they said that Uniform Civil Code, so there was this whole load of people debating. And most of them over there were men and women debating over there, and nobody from the Northeast were there. But all these people decided, and they brought out this statement that Northeast, the whole of Northeast is matriarchal, whole of Northeast. Okay. Therefore, over there, men have accepted women's leadership. Their women are leading in every field. Men have no problems with women. So, therefore, Uniform Civil Code does not really matter over there. Yeah, whether you have or not, it doesn't matter. That was the conclusion of the debate. Okay. So, it's a very popular perception that women here in the Northeast do not face any gender discrimination. It's because our women over here are more visible. Yeah, in the markets, whether it's your Mera Pai Bhi, okay, those are the popular imagination. That all the women in the Northeast are very, very forward. It's because we don't put our women in parda. Yeah. Our women are more outspoken, but does that mean that there's no gender inequality here? Yeah. So this was their conclusion. Okay. So at so many levels, it's wrong, the conclusion. Okay. Okay, before we break for lunch, just one last little bit that I want to do. So you understand this, that this is how it kind of operates. Okay. And patriarchy is promoted through several institutions. Try and remember, when is the first time ever in your life you realized that you were a boy or you were a girl? When was the first time and where do you usually realize? That I am different. Okay. Where do you realize it? Who tells you? And then who tells you that this is the way you should behave? First, And who dresses you differently? Who makes you play different dolls, toys, guns? Where does this happen? Mothers, family. Yeah. So, there are many institutions in society. Okay. One of the biggest institutions to promote patriarchy is family. And the toughest to change. Yeah. We may change the whole world. I may change my friend, my colleague, but my family members are very difficult to change. Yes or no? Very difficult, no? Yeah. So family is a very big social institution that promotes patriarchy. That's where we learn how to behave, what to do, what not to do. Okay. All your signals, it becomes like a tape which is playing in your head, no? So when you're born, you're just a boy or a girl, but very soon you become male or female within the family. So that's one big social institution. Another social institution is education. Look at our textbooks. Look at the books we read. In a picture, in a school book, usually if there's a family picture, who's doing the cooking, cleaning, sweeping, and who's going out and working? So they also promote gender stereotypes. Education. Yeah. Many schools I know make boys sit separately, girls sit separately. Yeah. Many schools also have the games that girls can play, boys can play what, if these are mixed gender schools. There are many schools where you have only girls and only boys schools. Are they here? Many schools have that. So they promote a kind of gender stereotyping education. The textbooks that we bring, what we are teaching our children, the kind of rhymes, the kind of stories, the storybooks that children are reading, learning. Okay, many are stereotypical. So this is another way that society promotes this. Yeah. There are other things like market. Okay. The whole world of market business. Girls' clothes, women's clothes, men's fashion. Yeah. Girls certain colors, boys certain thing. Market is a lot. I don't know whether you remember this one ad. I think it is this, which is that underwear ad for men? Was it VIP or something? I think VIP or one of these brands, Rupa or VIP or Jockey, one of these brands, no? Which sell men's underwear. There's another one which sells men's perfume, Fog, I think. Yeah? What is that ad about? Do you all remember? There's this ad which like men's perfume, okay, Fog. But the main character in that ad is a woman. Huh? Axe, okay. There's this man, right? Similarly, you look at any of your men's underwear ads. The woman is the main character because the man has to impress her. Okay? Again, these are very gendered roles. Maggie ads. Till now, have you seen any father cooking Maggie for their babies' children? No. It's always a mother, no, who has to cook the Maggie. So, I'm saying that market is very, very gendered. Okay? Yeah, it promotes gender in a very thing way. You look at market, media. Yeah? Again, media, lot of movies. What does it promote? Advertisements, movies, media content, social media. Hardly very few which challenges gender, challenges caste, challenges religion. And when it does, what happens to them? Yeah, they get banned. Okay. Because the whole society is very uncomfortable when you try to challenge something, when you try to question something. Okay. So you look at media in a way. The kind of media debates, the kind of media content, the movies that are brought out, very, very stereotypical many a times. And when you try to do that, for example, a movie had come, okay, recently called Badai Do. It's a Hindi movie. Yeah. It's on LGBTQ. It's about lesbian and gays and stuff. Yeah. And that movie went zero. It was a flop in the cinema halls. It's a beautifully made movie, very sensitive. Okay. But nobody likes to watch that kind of content. I think Pathan came after that, immediately, after Badai Do. And Pathan was a great hit. Why was Pathan a great hit? So I'm just questioning, that kind of a thing. You look at law. I'm just giving you some social, institutions. Law. Look at the police. Yeah, many of you are from the police department, right? How many women in that? How many women in decision making in the police? Okay. What kind of roles are women playing in the police? Judiciary. How many women judges are there? Okay. How many women in Supreme Court? In your higher courts? Lawyers. What kind of law are they practicing? Are the laws actually like, women friendly or not. We'll be looking at some of that tomorrow again. But I'm saying law is another way. Okay. So these are many things that kind of, and we call this the web. They are all, interconnected to each other, and they promote patriarchy. So the society is being like formed in such a way that they have these things. They have these institutions, and these institutions are highly patriarchal. And that's why it's very difficult to challenge patriarchy. But it's not impossible. Okay. And we've seen that now very often. Now do you see women pilots? Do you see women in the armed forces? Yeah. Do you see women chief ministers? Yeah. You do see women coming up in many roles. So it is possible, but difficult. Okay, but not impossible. So therefore, when we ask you, okay, that in your own roles, what can I do to make a change? That's where you'll have to come from. It is an uphill task, but we can reach the top. Okay. So that's what I was talking. So in this session, I was trying to talk about stereotypes. Yeah. You all have understood what stereotypes are? Gender stereotypes. I was talking about gender norms and roles that fit women and men into different slots. I spoke about patriarchy and the triangle, and I'm trying to talk about web, which therefore makes women, right now very low, at a lower position than men. Okay, and keeps women down over there. And again, I'm telling you, not all women. Okay, so this afternoon's exercise that we will do, we'll look at that. That are all women the same? Is every woman same like another woman? No. Is every man same like every other man? No. Okay, there are changes. So we'll look at that in the afternoon. Yeah. Thank you. Any questions you have here? Otherwise, we'll break for lunch. Anything you want to add? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
Application of laws is a problem wherein women are not well. But if you see IPC, for instance,
Yeah.
it is all women people from all the crimes. Firstly, if a person is being charged with rape, that person, he won't be like that is put in jail. Then only he will be assessed.
Allowed to.
So that will be the more part is the application part. If a woman who is being raped, she goes to the police station, file an FIR. Therein problem happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So the law in spirit is okay, but the law when it comes to practice is a problem. It's against women. We will look at your PWDV Act also tomorrow, yeah, and see how a law which is made for women is so difficult for women to access. Okay, we will look at, examine some of these. Thank you for bringing that up. Shall we break for lunch? Okay, let's break for lunch. After lunch, we don't want you to come back here. We'll first go. We'll meet in the front at the door, main gate. Okay, main door. Downstairs, we'll do an exercise and then we'll come up. Okay, yeah. So meet us in the front. At 2:10, is that okay? We have a 40 minutes, half an hour. Okay, 2:15 we'll meet. In the front, not here.